At first, Nathan Raines was just another politician. Then came the speeches, electrifying, full of promise. He would fix the economy, clean up corruption, restore order. He spoke to the people's anger, their frustration. And they listened. Lucas Bennett, like many others, believed in him. He had seen his town fall into poverty, watched businesses close and people leave. Raines gave them hope. When the election results came in, people cheered in the streets. Lucas stood among them, believing he had just witnessed history. He had. But not the kind he expected. The first changes were small. A few biased news outlets shut down. A few new laws passed. For the safety of the nation, Raines said. Lucas didn't think much of it. Then, a friend lost his job after posting something critical about the government. It's just politics, Lucas told himself. Then, a journalist disappeared. Then, a new law required citizens to report suspicious behavior. It's just temporary, Lucas thought. It wasn't. One day, Lucas overheard two men whispering in a cafe. They've made a list, one muttered. What list? Lucas asked, his curiosity overriding caution. The man hesitated, then whispered, enemies of the state. Names were being added. People who spoke out, people who questioned Raines. Lucas felt a chill. He wasn't on the list. Yet. His neighbor was taken in the night, doors kicked in, no explanation. A teacher at the school never came back. Lucas stayed silent. Kept his head down. Until his brother vanished. That was the moment he knew. This wasn't just politics anymore. The city changed. Cameras on every street. Drones patrolling the sky. Military units on every corner. People barely spoke in public. Lucas felt it, eyes on him, always watching. One night, he received an anonymous message. They know about you. Run. But where? There was nowhere to run. A shadowy alley entrance looms in the darkness. Eva Carter steps out, urgency in her voice. She pulls him into the alley, whispering hastily. Her eyes scan the area, checking for threats. She drops her voice lower, speaking rapidly. He looks puzzled, hesitation clear on his face. Images flash in his mind, his brother, the silence, the list. Realization dawns, he weighs his options. Finally, he nods, determination setting in. Eva smirks, a glimmer of hope in her eyes. Together, they step deeper into the shadows. The atmosphere thickens, danger and urgency intertwine. As they walk, the world outside fades further away. The mission begins, no turning back now. The resistance had one chance. They had a whistleblower, someone inside the government, with access to the surveillance network. If they could get the truth out to the world, expose Raines before he declares leader for life, they might stand a chance. But it had to be now. Because Raines was one day away from announcing martial law. They infiltrated the National Broadcast Center. Assarid and soldiers closed in, Eva hacked into the main communication system. Lucas took the mic. To everyone listening, this is the truth they don't want you to hear. He exposed the list, the disappearances, the corruption. Millions heard it. The world heard it. Then the soldiers broke down the door. The people rose up. Protests flooded the streets. The military, faced with undeniable proof, turned against Raines. The dictator fell. Lucas stood in the city square, watching people cheer again. This time, they weren't celebrating a leader. They were celebrating freedom. And this time, he knew. They wouldn't take it for granted.